So, just get out of here. I'm going to prime my bee box up while I'm waiting for my stool to dry. And once it's dry, back to my fancy lid. I know a lot of people think that's a waste of time, but I don't like having paint splash everywhere when you put a lid on. So I'm going to paint the top, this end, maybe a little of that end that I can get to, and I'm going to paint across the top of these because it's done, and then I'll let it dry. I'll flip it over. I'm even going to paint inside my bee holes. That way they can dry. I haven't seen any swarms or anything yet, so it'll be a while before I catch any bees. So this will be airing out with plenty of time. So we'll go ahead and paint it. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. So that's it. I've got it all primed up. I'm just touching up spots that's got too much primer on it and getting it rubbed in good everywhere, and making sure there's no drips or nothing anywhere, but looks good so far. So that side, them two sides in the bottom, our top's primered up, so when it dries I'll primer up the next side. So it rained last night, rained up till about 9 o'clock this morning, and I come out and I'm going to do some painting and priming, and this, because of oil base and all the moisture that was in the air from the rain, is still tacky. So I can't touch up the spots I'd like to. I was going to finish painting that and that, but the top is tacky and I'm sure not turning it over. So painting's out for now. I don't know what it'll be like the rest of the day. But the primer is dry. So all I'm going to do is pick it up, turn it. So that's on that side. I want to be able to paint this and then prime that. And I did it wrong anyway. It's going to be, yeah. So no matter how I do it, if I want to paint this, then I'll have to paint this end down here or prime that end down there. So I think the primer will probably be good enough for the holes. I'm not really over worried about it. I have to have a little cleanup on that paint, but I'll look at it later. I just want it primed. That way, when I get to all the other parts, I can probably prime and paint different pieces at a time. So I'm actually going to fill in some of these gaps today as well. There's a pretty good one here where I couldn't pull the wood down, so got to make sure I get a little primer down in there to fill that crack up a little bit. So alright, so that's the paintbrush. This is the primer brush. Hopefully this will dry before the day is over, and I'll get a chance to finish up that little bit on them on the bottom that I need to do, but paint this far in. That way I can slide it back down a little bit. Now, guess I don't really have to. Get this end primer down here. Go ahead and get this soaking. These end grains take up a lot of primer. I'll get that painted and then I'll show you when I'm painting the top. So I got the end painted. Started down this edge. Got a little bit on top. I'm going to paint a little more up here. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. You always got to make sure you go over your edges, because regardless of how careful you are, you will leave paint behind. So I got this old putty knife. Had it forever. Can't even remember why I even bought it. And for some reason it's got tar on it. So I'm going to use it to edge with. And I want to keep a fairly clean edge. So what I'm going to do is this goop. It's got orange, natural orange oils in it. And it helps break stuff down. I mean, there's no telling how long this has been on there. But I just rub it in real good everywhere I want this stuff to come off. Rub it in with my finger. And then just rubbing it with your finger will do a little, but it won't do much. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how long this stuff's been on here. And I just take one of my wire wheels. I didn't want a steel one, so I opted for the brass. I know where the orange stuff dries up, it's pretty much, you don't remove anymore. It's when it's wet and it's moving that it does a good job. I got everything down through here, just a little bit left there, and I cleaned up a bunch that was up in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. But that's a little way to clean stuff up. I use brushes, depending on what the knife's used for. Sometimes I use concrete to scratch it off, but that works. This works one way of cleaning them up. Because I don't know if I'd have been able to get some of this off with raking it across concrete. So I'll clean it up, and when I'm done I'll let you look at it, see what you think. So there's still quite a bit on it. So that's what it looks like. There's still a few little spots of paint or something on it, but all the tar is, at least for the most part, off. And the longer you leave that stuff set, the better it works. So now I can paint these edges without worrying about getting too far on the inside. Yeah, if I remember not to shove it in too far. Worked pretty good. Now I got paint a little bit too far in again. That's easy enough to fix. You just clean it off and go back to doing it again. I guess if I watched what I was doing, I could flip it over. Low spot. That ain't really on the inside. Huh. Oh well. Fool me. And I smeared it back here where it was on the inside. Alright, so you see how it works. And just another little tip. just going back over and double checking. A lot of it's dried because I had to step away for a little bit, and just finished it up real quick, and it dries quick enough that I could probably paint it in another 30 minutes, which I'm really surprised because the oil base ain't that quick. So so I'm gonna leave it here for now, and I'm not sure when I'm gonna get back to this. I know I've got other projects going on, and I really, like I said, I don't know when I'll get back to it, but at least it's primed, and I can set it to the side, and it'll be in good shape. When I'm ready to paint, I'll make sure I keep it in a safe spot. So, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I'm doing stuff I enjoy. I hope you find stuff that you enjoy and do it. And I guess we'll see you on the next one.